Hello, this is Bug News, and today we're going to talk about Maryln Mosby. If you're not familiar with the name Maryln Mosby, she is the state prosecutor, elected official for Baltimore City at one point. She's best known for various things, with Freddie Gray, and then also a lot. She's also probably what I want to say. She's probably under or campaigned off, being a for lack of better words, community prosecutor. So, I mean, a lot of people who may have been, especially who in urban areas, who may have been, um, charged with something, um, the sentencing or charges may have been dropped, depending, especially if they were like weed charges. So it was a lot of prosecutors around the country that kind of fit into that Mosby mode for various reasons. A lot of people keep forgetting it costs money to take people to court. So, as at this point, they, maybe they was doing the books, and then a lot of people get caught up in the system, basically want to get locked up on weed charges. Um, so, with that being said, um, she was not reelected in Baltimore. And, people saying the crime, but of course, crime's going to go back up. It's like crime's going to go back to where it was prior to the pandemic. Um, and then she also prosecuted. Remember, she prosecuted the police, which a lot of prosecutors may or may not do. But like I said, across the country, a lot of prosecutors fell into that area to keep the calm because Baltimore was under. I ain't gonna say it was under siege, but they were. People were active. People were activated, and it was upset with the Freddie Gray, and they really was upset because the officers weren't charged. So the officers, I think, were charged, and I think not too many of them were found guilty, or the news kind of let it die down or whatever. But we can dig into that. We can look to see which officers got what charges and things like that. But she did prosecute the officers. But as you know, some people didn't know the laws are structured to it, so they can charge you with something, just to be charged you with something, and they can't prove it, but they charge you with something. But anyway, so she was charged with um, perjury recently for lying, I guess maybe on some forms or in court that she didn't do what she did. With basically what was going on is she pulled out her 401k. And I'm paraphrasing. Um, and she pulled the money out, but I guess it was some law, the CARES Act, that you could do that. Like, and who knows how many people have done that, use the CARES Act to pull a large amount of money out and probably not be taxed on it. Um, and they are saying, federal prosecutors saying that she used the money to purchase homes in um, Florida instead of for some reason her what do I want to say, instead of her needing it for like hardship. When I mean by hardship based on the CARES Act, I guess, because she was still working, she was still getting the check. I think she made between 250,000, 300,000, and then her husband, in addition to that, has a large salary. Some people, and of course, she does speaking engagements and a whole bunch of other stuff, probably. But she probably generates income because that job does allow you to generate income. And in addition to that, she probably has a treasure chest of of campaign money. But I don't know if she can use that. So, but in this case, um, she is found guilty of perjury. Then they're going to charge. They may bring up other charges with the mortgage fraud, is what they're calling it. And in that aspect because of the CARES Act. But what some of the articles are saying, a former top prosecutor from the city of Baltimore was convicted on Thursday of charges that she lied about the finances of a side business to improperly access retirement funds. Okay, so side business. Okay, uh, during the COVID-19 pandemic, using the money to buy two Florida homes. So, federal jury convicted former State's attorney Maryln Mosby of 2 counts of perjury after a trial that started Monday. And a trial, I thought the trial was going to be on for a while. I mean, it's pretty fast. Monday and the day is Thursday. Somebody told me it was a 7 hour deliberation with the jury. So maybe she had a speedy trial. In addition to that, she had these high priced lawyers prior to this, and I guess maybe they're stalling or she didn't want to pay the money anymore. And then she's down to a public defender um, in this case, so we know what their batting average is uh, in this case. And then I'm not gonna say they. I'm gonna just say uh, in a situation that the persons wanted to prosecute this case, they started going after her lawyers. So that in that case, individuals really want you bad. So and then on top of that, like I said, the prosecuting the police, but the police better get used to prosecuting because that's just the way with these cameras and things. You can't lie no more. So that's just the way it is. Yeah. And then in police salaries, they're compensating their salaries. I think like where I'm at, I saw an ad for police officers to make 70K. So to me, that means like 100K is really 50K. But they're trying to compensate the salary because they got people to come in and work for them, and they can't recruit. They'll be like, yeah, for that, you go work at McDonald's, at least make 45. But anyway, so um, let's see what else they got here. So there is a gag order, and it's probably a gag order because she's a political person. But in addition to that, this case was first supposed to have been tried in Baltimore, but a lot of people in Baltimore had comments about the case, and so that's when they moved the case to Greenbelt. So half the people in Baltimore probably work down this way anyway, but that's a whole nother discussion. But um, uh, so they moved the case to Greenbelt, Maryland, and which is in Prince George's County. So we're talking about like 30, 40 miles, if that much. So same, I mean, kind of the same region, but different jurisdiction. I guess that's what you want to call it. As if they did, as if they not watching Baltimore news, which in some cases you can. So, or if they're not discussing it, I should say. All right, but anyway, but they did that. So they moved down here. So for this, I think for each charge is 5 years, but she probably won't get that. And now, what she probably this, I guess, the perjury may have come from, yeah, from the CARES. I'm not sure if they interviewed her and she lied. Okay. Yeah, so right here, Mosby gained a national profile for prosecuting Baltimore police officers after Freddie Gray's black man died in police custody in 2015, which was Mosby's Mosby. Hello, Universal T with Marie. Um, with Mosby's, where was I? It was Mosby's first year in office. His death led to riots and protests in the city. None of the officers were convicted. Like I said, I don't think any of them were convicted. But like I said, people were saying the charges they brought them, they weren't going to be convicted. So, like I said, sometimes it's a double game in that aspect. Uh, so after the verse, she said, "I'm blessed. I don't know what else to say," as she left the courtroom. So and she's been saying that a lot. I'm blessed, as they say, been saying this in some of the news. Like I said, I'm just surprised that this happened very, very fast. We're gonna listen to a news clip here real quick. Um, Oh yeah, I can't hear it. Hold on. Let me just let's see if I can share that. If you can't hear it, you can't hear it. Okay, so basically, as you said, she said she was blessed. She was coming out the courthouse. She had public defenders, which is really strange, but I guess it's cold out here in this world. She, I, I, I guess she probably, I guess she probably can appeal if she wanted to, but at this point, I don't know. She's just not, she may have money, but you're not trying to burn up your money. You just accept, what's going to come your way, and then she also has to go back to court for the mortgage fraud charges. So usually when the feds do this, they hit you with the perjury charge first, and then they come back with the other charge. So if we remember the mayor in Detroit, and remember he had the relationship with the lady, they didn't get them on any. They didn't, initially they didn't get them on anything. What they and the police was mad with him too because of I think some they had some strippers at a mansion, and then his police security, and then the police reported it, so he retaliated against them. So that pretty much started it. So if police are the police, they know stuff. That's their job to know certain things. So anyway, um, what they got him on was they asked him and the lady he was cheating on in court on some of this random thing, right? Oh, did you sleep with such and such? Nah, I never slept with them. Oh, okay, cool. Then they came back and asked her, well, did you sleep with such and such? No, that's it. So how they got them was they was texting each other over public record, their the phones that they had thing, and then they came back and asked them. So then that's when got him lying on court, and then she flipped on him on the stuff that they really wanted to get him on. So I always tell the story. Oh, and make it so bad, I can't even think it was Kilpatrick. I think his name is Kwame Kilpatrick. Make it so. Here's the sad part, and there's a sad part on her part too. But here's the sad part. Kwame Kilpatrick was a lawyer, so first thing I would say, oh damn, why they ask me that? In the back of my head, knowing the play, and then I would have said, you know what, yeah, or I take the fifth. You didn't lie, or I don't recall. You didn't lie. No, I didn't sleep with her. I'm just saying he could have said, well, they must got something. Yeah, I did. Man, it would have been a scandal, but that would have killed that higher case. So in their case, I think what it is, I think the government certain certain names are just being monitored, black, white, whatever. And if you apply for certain stuff, it's going to come across, it's going to come up in that system now because everything's almost electronic. And they just like, oh, let's investigate this. And people was just mad with her because they said, well, you did this and this, so you highly watch. Why would you do this blatant mistake? Or wait, she was saying that she needed the money, but of course, they're gonna track where the money went. Okay, you needed 90,000. Did you pay on that business? No, you that night we saw that 90,000 went in your account and went down to the down payments on the houses in Florida, which I'm pretty sure she has good credit. Why she couldn't just actually anyway, um, they probably had me end up anyway. So uh, she that's what she got. That's what led to that. So they probably monitored certain things, and then boom, and I'm pretty sure, especially, and they might remind everyone. It's just more people get caught in another group than the other group because I've seen when you go into the weeds of it, that's what happened. Another issue, I remember a guy named Kwame Brown, who was a city councilman here. He's making all this big deal about. First, I started making all this big deal about him using the money or you buying these cars. So what they got him on was he filed bankruptcy. They went all the way back to see how much he put down on his income, and that's what they got him on. They didn't get him on any other uh, the seat that he held charges. They got him on some personal things that he filed on his thing, and for the bankruptcy because he said he made so much because he had some boats, he had another house. So some people know how to work the system. So he did that. So it was like 2008 or something, around that time, and he filed bankruptcy. And I guess it came up in the court. Like I said, sometimes people monitor. You never know. They got people that monitor. Well, he filed bankruptcy. Oh, let's go through his thing and match stuff up, justify my job. Oh yeah, right here. He said he was making 300,000. He ain't never made 300,000 in his life. He made about 200,000 or so. And so, but because he made 300 or 400,000, that's how he qualified for the boat loan. Then when he couldn't pay the boat because I think the mortgage crisis came and he couldn't pay certain thing. Maybe he was leveraging. Like some people know how to work the system, and he had to file bankruptcy because things were getting tight, and that caused his demise. But anyway, this is bug news. I just wanted to get this out real fast because of it. Just somebody texted me and said this information I knew happened an hour ago, so I want to get ahead of everyone else. But this is bug news. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you very much.